let's discuss about the recent policy changes and whether these immigration policies are politically triggered or it is in benefit of Canada. Namaste, Adab, Shushika. Let's divide the whole press conference into 4 components where the 4 major updates was given, which is yet to implement, but it is already ruled out that it will be coming in the future. The first one is about the flagpoling. I hope everyone might know by this point. Flagpoling in Canada is something where an immigrant or a person who is living in Canada on a temporary resident or on a visitor visa can able to get a permit by crossing the border. In this process, technically a person need to leave Canada border, no need to enter US border, just return back and get the permit at the CBSA office. This used to be one of the most renowned way to get the permit by avoiding the long processing time online. But nowadays, people try to use it much often even when it is not required. This flagpoling usually takes a lot of time, resources of the CBSA officer, but now after this announcement, it is totally stopped. That means that now there will be no flagpoling at the border. If you wanted to get any kind of application approved, even it is a study permit, work permit, spousal open work permit, closed work permit, it has to be applied online. Let's talk about the next update. That is the new legislation which will be giving more power to IRCC. The motive of this new legislation which is passed is to potentially giving more authority towards the IRCC to make a decision on an immigration file, which means cancel, suspend, or change the immigration file even if while under the process. The common example which I can give it to you is everyone might have heard about the 700 international students who were the victim of the study permit fraudulent. It ruled out while they are under processing their PR application that one agent in India did around these many applications by putting a fake documents.
Hundreds of Indian students studying in Canada are now reportedly facing deportation.
The fiasco is making headlines in India, and immigration officials here won't say how many are being told to leave.
Due to the appeal by the different MPs and under the humanitarian grounds, those individuals able to get a PR in Canada and remain in Canada. So now onwards, if the IRCC suspect any kind of fraud activity or find any kind of a document which is not legit, they have all the authorities to make a decision based upon the evidences they have. So please stay away from agents or your immigration consultant or ghost consultants who might be giving you those kind of advice to put a fake documents. The humanitarian compassion ground application, which is also known as asylum seeking or refugee claim. Technically, this is the process by which if you cannot able to go back home due to any reasons which is genuine, which is authentic, then Canada used to give you a place to stay in Canada, grant you a work permit, get you a PR and get you a citizen down the road. But as usual, people started to take advantage of Canada. From 2019, there was 3-fold increase in the number of asylum seeking applications, which means now more people started to understand about the loophole in the immigration and started to take advantage of that and started to put illegal asylum claims.
Frankly, quite alarming given the volumes of people that come to this country, in theory, with the proper financial capacity to live and to pay their tuition fees, which are 4 times what Canadians pay. But it's becoming an alarming trend.
IRCC always have an eye on what's happening in Canada. The new policy literally gonna be decreasing the illegitimate claims and making the process faster for the genuine cases. This was really needed. My always sincere request to every international student is that try not to do that. Because when you're claiming asylum, technically you're surrendering your citizen passport and you're trying to say that okay, I'm not safe back home. By doing this kind of thing, yes, you can get temporary benefit by getting an open work permit, but one day there will be hearing, and now the new policy says there will be an initial assessment, and in initial assessment, if they rule out that the case is weak, it's not genuine, you will be getting deported. So please stay away from that. If you reach till here, don't forget to subscribe and follow us, because once again, CAN Immigration motive is to educate the CAN family and get you the right information, and your each like and subscription is something which is very valuable and promote us to do more educational video like this. So now let's address the elephant in the room. That is LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. There are 3 sort of LMIA applications are there. LMI for work permit, LMI for PR, and there is dual intent. The dual intent is something which is very popular, where the person usually get 1 to 2 years of work permit, but also able to claim 50 points towards the express entry. So now what the new policy says, let's discuss in detail. There will be no points towards the express entry. That means now no one can able to claim 50 points, which a candidate usually claim while they are putting their express entry application. This is good or bad? That I leave it to you, and put your comments down what you think about it. Yes, everyone know that people usually use this kind of route by paying a handsome money to an agent, to the immigration firm to get the 50 points nowadays. Okay, by putting this kind of clause, by policy change, definitely that is going to stop the fraudulent activity. But on the other hand, there are a good number of employers which are totally relying on a hardworking, skilled employees, and they are genuinely wanted to help the employees to get the PR by working with them. But now, because of the few communities, few people who are taking advantage of this policy and using it as a loophole, the genuine individuals are going to suffer. 50 points, which is very crucial, because it's a difference between getting an invitation and not getting the invitation. Hope you can see that. Yes, respected Immigration Minister Marc has announced this, but it is not yet implemented. So now, one thing which everyone is asking, that who will be influenced, when will be implemented, and how this whole thing gonna be changing the Canadian immigration. Trust me, no one can give answer on that. And if someone is giving an answer, ask them for the real resource, because now, anytime a new regulation change comes, you don't need to depend upon the news announcement or the briefings. You need to wait for the CIC update, where it's clearly mentioned about from when it is going to implement, before jumping into any conclusion. Because once again, until and unless CIC confirm that and implement that, you don't even need to be worried. Yes, you can start planning on the plan B. We will be keep you posted on that, because it's our responsibility to educate and guide Can family. But now conclude with one simple thing. You don't need LMI. You may not hear this thing a lot, but this is the reality. LMI is just getting you 50 points, but if you have a good employer, you should try to get them convinced for the PNP support. You can look into AIP, you can look into other pathways like RNIP or community programs, which can still able to get you the PR pathways. So always don't feel that because of one regulation change, you are not going to get a PR in Canada. There is always way, just you have to rule it out. Let's talk about some of the positive and negative outcome of this policy, which is very important. Till now, when we are discussing about the CIC update, I always thought about to make you understand that how a policy gonna be having a positive and negative impact, so that you can decide in what way it's gonna influence you. So let's point out some of the positive outcome of this new policy. People are not getting 50 points for the LMI. There will be less applicant more than 500 points. So slowly the scores start to drop. It will decrease the illegal immigration to Canada. It will be decreasing the fake consultant and third party who are charging a lot of money from the novice international student. The last and most important, this will bring positive immigration to Canada, where more weightage will be given to the individuals who are skilled, have an ability, and have a language proficiency to get their PR in Canada and get settled in this beautiful country. Now, let's talk about some of the negative effect of this new policy. Let's rule out in a fast way. Collateral damage. Due to the sudden policy change, a lot of international students are there who don't even know what to do next. This will increase the reverse immigration. If you have noticed, already in last few years, the reverse immigration started from Canada. Definitely, this is going to boost that. This will increase the deportation, because those individuals who totally relied on the 50 points to get the PR, who may not even have a work permit, maybe lead to a deportation, which is not a good news. This can increase the labor shortage in Canada and potentially increase the economic crisis in particular sectors such as educational sector, the real estate sector, innovation sector, and especially the labor sector, where employers are dependent upon the low-skilled workers, especially agriculture, factories, or the food chain like McDonald's, Tim Hortons, where they need low-wage employee. But again, if they are not getting a PR, if they don't see that there is a hope of getting a PR, again, people will start to select other countries over Canada. This is going to influence the whole Canada in a negative way and may take into an economic crisis. Also, one thing which I recently read one of the article, developmental crisis. It's very important to understand that immigrants who came to Canada brought a lot of money in the GIC form and also moved to certain communities where they started to build a family, support the community and develop that community. Few of the communities, example is Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury. These are the areas which got developed in recent years because of the positive immigration. If this policy implement and people stop moving to this particular community, definitely again back to that, the developmental crisis will occur in those communities. So this is which I feel a major setback to our rural community areas. Okay, it's been a long, but now let's take a step back and look into the bigger picture, politics. As per me, when I'm seeing from the broader point of view, immigration, politics, recent election, this all makes sense when I'm putting it together. Whether these changes are politically motivated or really the Canadian government is trying to help Canadians. So I would like to get your answer on this, whether these policies which is implementing at the verge of the new election, whether this is for the positive side where government is really considering your benefit or it is just a political stunt to win the election. Put your thoughts and opinions about how this policy will be good or bad, or what new policy you think would be more beneficial for Canada, being a Canadian or being a PR in Canada, which can definitely support. And let's hope that this whole new regulations, whole new changes bring some positive hope to all the international students who came to Canada to make this country their home. Especially, they have to respect the Canadians also. So let's work together and let's hope for the better future. Let's conclude this video with saying that Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope this video bring a positive change in the community, make whole immigration stress-free. Bye, take care, and please don't forget to subscribe and follow our channel for more information like this. Bye.